Revolutionary producer. You are now tuning to Grapevine.
Welcome to the Grapevine, the best in edutainment. Once again, the fellas are going to bring you the best in education and entertainment. Going to tell you some things that are going to make you say, wow, I really agree with them. Wow, I disagree with them. Maybe you can tell that our man Steve here has went through a little bit of change. He took some time away and had to make some changes. Actually, this is our friend David Shelton. David is a businessman here in the community. We certainly appreciate you spending some time with us, David. Steve's not here. He's not here, not able to be with us. So we're gonna fill in and keep moving forward because the Grapevine is here to grow. The Grapevine is here to tell you what we think about different topics. We're here to once again edutain you and bring you the best that we can bring on a regular basis. All right, guys, you doing all right today?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back.
Hey, I'm happy to be here too, and I love our topic tonight.
Oh,
I'm excited. Thank you for having me tonight.
no problem. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Speaking of the topic, we want to keep it kind of controversial, keep you thinking about current topics that are going on in the world. Here recently, California.
Yeah.
I believe Wyoming, Colorado. These states have made some major political changes. They've made changes in their culture. They decided to legalize and decriminalize marijuana. How could they do that?
With
Why
the
would they
popular
do
vote,
that?
that's how.
With the popular vote, with the need, with the benefits. But what we're going to do is talk about the benefits, see what we think about it, see what the marijuana culture can benefit from. See, is this a change in the thinking, a change in the times? Are we witnessing the potential for marijuana to be legal on a federal level? Because no matter what the states do, it's still illegal on a federal basis. However, with this groundswell, we could be witnessing change. So it's been legalized in these cities and in these countries for a reason, outside of medicinal purposes, which we know are very popular.
Right.
So there must be something to why marijuana has been made legal. Is it a good thing for society? Is it a bad thing for society? How say you?
Well, I'm torn. I mean, because of the benefits that you were talking about. Cancer is prevalent, everywhere. And that's one of the major benefits. It helps out with cancer. Not only cancer, Alzheimer's,
Glaucoma?
Tourette's, the little shaking. I've got a
We have the
friend
ticks.
Yeah, ticks, and it helps out with that. So it's got a lot of benefits.
Medically is what you've been talking about so far.
Exactly. But I'm kind of torn because at the same time, it messes with the part of the brain that causes psychosis, where causes hallucination and things like that.
No.
So-
Marijuana is not a hallucinogen.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have.
Hey.
You don't have your class of medication correct, I guess.
No, that's
But
correct.
where's
That's
your
right.
research? Show me your documentation that marijuana causes hallucinations.
Have you ever watched the movie Friday when Ice Cube was smoking?
So you're.
I have to correct. I have to correct you. In Friday, He got a little something that was what we like to call laced. Not that I know
How
it,
do you-
but there's nothing wrong. Nothing anything wrong with that. Not at all. I'm not saying it's wrong. But what happened was Smokey got some bad weed. He got some
Weed. Some of the same elements that's in weed was in that when he was smoking.
He got his was
So
laced.
your point of reference.
He saw the dog and the dog was moving.
I'm not gonna go with the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm gonna choose Friday.
It was in that
Really?
too. It was in that too. But that was what you could
Okay.
relate to.
No. Marijuana
And
is a plant that does not cause altered moods such as hallucinations,
Yes, it does.
such as fits of rage, such as
Not
paranoia. These things
Paranoia
don't
too.
happen.
That's another one. That's
These
another
things
one.
do not. Where's your research, sir? Where's your
Same
research?
place as
sir?
yours. You don't have
Friday,
it in front of you.
I can pull it right out. It's right beside me, sir.
I can pull it out right here. But we won't do that right now. Continue.
All right.
I believe the other day we were talking about we were down at the river and we were just talking and having a little meeting. And Damon, you pulled out a statistic about crime and as it relates to alcohol, as it relates to other drugs, and as it pertains to marijuana. And that marijuana
Is responsible
zero
for no deaths.
It's got a
No
perfect
deaths.
marijuana's got a
Does
perfect
not
record.
drive people to do stupid things.
He's got
for the
a
most
perfect
part. I mean,
record. Marijuana. What are you gonna do?
What marijuana does is causes you to want something harder. You continue.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
it's
The
a
gateway,
gateway
the
drug.
gateway defense.
It's a step.
Oh, I'm
It's
glad
the-
that
it's a
was
step-
brought up.
It's
I'm
a
glad
stepping
it's
stone
not
to
a-
something more
Oh,
extreme. That's all it is. Now I'm smoking my marijuana, so now I want something a little more extreme than this, and so now you're gonna try something else, and that's the only thing. That's what it does.
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy me a bottle of Jack.
yep. Because
It might-
yeah.
Jack is a lot stronger than
Or
marijuana.
or is hunting a gateway to homicide? Along to your same theory, if I'm a hunter and I go get a gun because I want to hunt, my next thing is wanting to hunt people. So now what's that movie with Ice-T?
I know what you're talking about.
But
Oh, I
yeah,
know what you're talking
and
about.
so now I'm hunting people. So
Well, if
marijuana drives me for crack and meth, then it drives me. Then guns and hunting drives me to shooting people.
Well, you just proved
So
my
we
point.
should. So,
you just
so
proved
we
the
should
point that I
outlaw
was trying to
guns
make.
and
Well,
not have hunting.
Outlaw
So
guns, that's a whole nother show, and I don't want to even approach that audience. just
according to
yet.
him,
Well, you just made my point exactly.
I made your point as outrageous as you made it because it was crazy. That's what I made your point.
How? People have talked about all kinds of slippery slope on some of my pet issues. We've talked about how the marijuana is a gateway drug. I have heard that all my life growing up in my house. Dad, I love you. I have never understood the issue of why this is such a major criminal thing in our
What does
life
your dad
today.
do?
I mean,
We don't have to give all his information, but you mentioned your dad. What does your dad do?
he is a local judge here in town. And
So he knows the laws, and
I grew
he's-
up in the laws. I grew up, and I have seen it. I have lived it. I have heard all the horror stories, and I will tell you exactly how many of those I believe. End of list.
Well, apparently the majority of the United States agree with me.
Well,
because it's not legal, is it? Okay.
Majority
It
of-
is. Hey, how
the
about
majority of the United
California,
States does not.
Colorado, Wyoming? I believe Vermont. There are plenty other states that have differing opinions than you, and we're going to touch on them when we get back because this topic is just getting started. We're coming right back with more from the grapevine.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
When you travel, you want to have a blast, create great memories, and not go broke doing it.
From mountains to the beach, I can help you do it all and not break the bank. You work hard for your money and your time, and you need to get the most out of both. If you want to learn how to save the most on your best vacations, call me, Damon Jennings, 931-302-0760. Save money, have fun, let me help. 931-302-0760. And you follow the money, you see that money is keeping this plant from being as helpful as it could, and it's causing mindsets to
The
be
love of money is what?
The root of all evil. But the thing about this is, it causes a relaxation and it causes euphoria, and at the same time, after you come down, it also causes depression. I don't.
Where are you getting this information?
Listen,
Where are you getting it causes depression?
it's on here too. He can probably find it right here while we're talking. But another thing,
It causes hunger.
it causes hunger too, and it causes you to want to eat. So then again, it might cause
Well,
obesity. but check
Just
this
realize
out.
on the same day that that Colorado legalized marijuana, Twinkies went out of business. That had to hurt. That had to hurt.
Because you get
You
the
take
munchies.
away the
You're
munch-
taking a
you-
snack away. You're taking a snack away.
And another thing, you can't function properly at work.
That's not true.
You can't.
That's
That
not,
is
that's
not
not,
true.
that's not necessarily
Whatever,
true.
whatever.
I know some drunks that are functional.
So
I know
what?
people drunks. I know people.
They might function, but not properly.
I know
no.
somebody.
Appropriately.
One of the best cooks, you know, I cut my teeth in the restaurant industry. One of the best cooks I've worked with came in, eyes redder than this chair, worked rings around all of us, me included, worked rings around us, asked what was next. He was on top of everything, and he got the job done. Was he the most pleasant employee to be around? No, but that wasn't necessarily because of marijuana.
Marijuana
It's
brings you
because-
down, so he probably would outwork you guys anyway, because that kind of
If it
brings
bring
energy.
how is it bringing him down and causing him to
Yeah,
work around?
you-
You're flawed logic.
No,
You're
no,
not
no,
even
no,
making
no,
any
no.
sense.
No, marijuana. Does marijuana amp you up?
It amped him up,
does
apparently.
Or
I don't
does
know if it
or,
did.
Or is it one of those drugs that kind of bring you down and mellow you out?
How do you know what it does
Huh?
to you?
Huh?
You
I've got
until
friends that huh?
I've got
Don't you-
friends.
Do you
that-
have friends
I
that
have
smoke
friends.
marijuana?
I
Have
told
ever
you,
smoked
one
marijuana?
of my friends was
I
at
remember
work.
y'all in college. I
And-
remember you when y'all used to smoke this
I'm
stuff.
wearing a
What's
striped
your,
shirt.
hold up! How you gonna throw us under the table and say I remember?
Dude, you
Hanging out with you.
if we was you was there. So
Y'all was online. I was a Big Brother.
Ah! Big Brother Smokey Smoke, sir. Hit this.
I remember. And you guys used to be up here and you bring down and relax you. It's not one of those that aggravate you. And so if this guy was working rings around you, that means if he wasn't on it, he probably would have worked double around you.
Flawed logic. That's what you bring to the table today,
But
sir.
it's affected differently.
Flawed logic. That's all I gotta say.
why was we?
I don't know. Flawed logic.
Well, I mean, why are we invested? That's one of the things that people have asked of late. David, why do you care about this topic? Do you smoke?
No.
I mean, why? And what
I
is it
shouldn't be
that-
able to tell him he can't. Not necessarily. I mean,
I'm not saying
Well,
that
yeah,
I do. Again, not there's anything wrong with that.
yeah.
But here we are. We're in this point where people are gonna smoke. They're gonna. It's easy to access. I mean, I don't know who to
And
talk
legalizing
to.
it is not going to make
And
it
since
more
we're talking about
accessible.
Since we're talking about that, people smoke cigarettes. It causes cancer. Secondhand
causes
smoke
cancer.
kills me. I've never heard anyone getting cancer from smoking marijuana.
The statistics have shown the court system, the legal system has been so skewed against people with marijuana. Most of the arrests today, more than half of the arrests, right now today, are with marijuana.
And the thing
That's
is,
the problem.
the time that is associated, the amount of jail time that comes with marijuana. If it's over a half ounce, then you're going to get a fine, possibly maybe 1129 suspended if you're lucky. That's on your first offense.
It's a waste of time.
Second offense, I mean a half ounce. So I got a joint, one joint. I'm going to jail for a joint. A joint. Yeah. At least let me
And
smoke
it's
it.
not going to make you that crazy hypochondriac that he referred to earlier.
But the thing about it, he said, I like that statistic he just said. He said 4 times. But I don't know if that 4 times has to do with marijuana. The 4 times got to be with you being black, period. So I'm just, you know, so you can
So
say
you're just
that
4
it's
times
that.
likely.
And the thing about it, you legalize marijuana, you might as well legalize cocaine. You might as well legalize heroin. You got a lot of money that's being spent on those efforts too, just like you have with marijuana.
Hold up. The thing with marijuana that makes it different is that it's a plant. It's natural. There's so many different resources that this plant brings to the table that it's not ground up and made from this chemical. It's not sprinkled with this to make it more addictive. It's not cut with this. It's not done with this. It's a plant that is grown just like an apple, and you go pick it off off the tree, and you partake. Matter of fact, Rem, I believe the apples, which we are so fond of, was the fruit that was referred to as the one that's forbidden.
No, it was a fruit. It didn't say what. It just said a fruit.
Okay,
people
it
say
wasn't.
apple.
It
didn't say fruit.
It wasn't a bud, was it?
They say fruit.
It didn't say bud, did it?
But we're
it
talking
didn't
about
say
marijuana.
stay away.
Okay,
I'm just going.
Now we're getting into
Maybe it
religion.
was a
I know,
pomegranate.
but I'm just.
Now we're getting to religion. That's something else that we need to bring into talk about. You have religions that believe in using marijuana. Hindus use it. Rastafari is the most popular.
Swear by it.
You know, and they
Some
say
Native
that,
American circles.
and they peyote. I mean,
What do you think was in peace pipes?
and they say that they say this is a way that they can come closer to God. If this is my way.
Yeah,
to,
it makes you think like that. It make you feel. You see, you just validated my point again because it make you feel this euphoria. I can do anything. That's messing with my mind.
That doesn't say that they can do
I didn't hear. I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him say it makes you Superman.
They're trying to get in touch
I
with
need
their
to get somebody on
spirituality.
here that's actually smoked. I haven't. I mean, it's,
So I mean, that's another. That's one thing. It's religion. It's everyone has their own opinion, and my theory on why it's illegal is because you can't control it. Again, it's a plant. I can take a single seed or a bud or whatever, plant it in my house, and I can start a whole garden. The government cannot control that. There is no way that they
I
can
had
control
a friend
that.
of mine who was arrested for having a pot plant in his closet.
One plant.
One plant.
He should have.
And he got
Why?
what? Did he get?
What could he do with
Right.
it? What could he do with it?
It's not legal, is it?
What could he do with it?
It's not legal. And another thing, you guys, you have proven that you abuse it. You lace it. You get weed. If it was prescribed.
What do you
possibly.
think?
What's
you're done
Red
with
Bull
tobacco?
and
Mix
vodka?
it together, and then you abuse it. You give
Can
you
you
freedom.
okay?
like
Tell me
that,
something.
and
Tell
you
me,
abuse
can
the freedom.
you go to a bar right now and buy a drink made from Red Bull and vodka, an energy drink and alcohol? Is that not considered abuse to someone?
It could be. I don't know
Oh,
if you can do that.
there you go.
I've never done. I
You
didn't know
can
about,
do it.
Yeah.
Everyone has their vice. Yours may be weed. Mine may be sex. Somebody else's may be pornography. Somebody else's may be addicted
The
to
point is,
being with their
people
being with someone in their family.
naturally tend to abuse. There's going to be somebody who's going to use the thing properly. Somebody's going to abuse it. A friend of mine said years ago that if you don't know the purpose of something, you will abuse it. If you don't know the purpose of children, you will abuse them. If you don't know the purpose of your church, you will abuse them. If you don't know the purpose of something, you will abuse it. And as all of us, as men, upstanding members of our society, we know there can be someone that will abuse these things over and over again. So what is the purpose of marijuana? What are the things that it can be used for?
What is the purpose of the government telling me something I can't do? Why is the government did he step into my house and tell me, well, you cannot partake of this plant if it's making you feel better because you do have an early onset Alzheimer's, early onset glaucoma?
You better have a prescription.
But why?
But because we say so.
Why
We
can't-
are the government. We control. There are a set of rules and laws, and until those laws and rules are changed,
I don't recall
gotta be
being given
proven.
the option of saying whether or not something should be legalized or not.
You know what should be legal?
That's why we vote.
That's
And
why you
we
have
vote to take a break right now because we're going to come back and continue talking about this very hot topic. We have a very good what are the benefits? And we're going to follow up with that here on The Grapevine. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Grapevine, the best in edutainment. Hopefully, you've been getting in on this meaty subject with us because there are a bunch of different topics, a bunch of different opinions, a bunch of different ways this can be pulled, this can be stretched. Let us know what you think. You can leave comments on YouTube. You can follow us on the Facebook page we have, The Grapevine. You can get us at our website, The Grapevine, and you're going to find out how to get that here soon. So pay attention. We're growing. The Grapevine is blowing up. And just like this topic, marijuana is a plant that grows. It can blow up. We talked about what are some of the benefits of marijuana. I've done a little bit of research, and I wanted to address that real quick before David had an important important aspect of it. Let's see. Marijuana has medicinal value. We've already talked about that. Marijuana is a plant that can be used fibrous, so you can make flags, as in the United States flag. One of the first ones that was made was sewn on marijuana.
Yeah.
So there are clothes, textiles, let's see, oils. So certain Dow chemicals, for instance, could be put out of business because of all the oils and chemicals could be offset by using the marijuana plant. Let's see what I say. The aspect of medicine, clothing, oils. Matter of fact, to make it real easy, in the 90s, Gatewood Galbraith, he died last year. He was a political candidate for governor of Kentucky. He ran with legalizing marijuana as one of his platforms. One of his campaign trips, he showed up in a vehicle that was powered on fuel that was derived from marijuana. His clothes had marijuana fibers, and I say marijuana because that's the plant. I'm not just talking about the drug aspects. His flyers and his handbills were made out of marijuana, another hemp extract, and he was talking about the medicinal values. So those were a bunch of different tools that he used to say this plant should no longer be criminalized because it's a very helpful plant. So, David, you had something you had brought up?
I just found this article that was published in the Rolling Stone magazine last week on June 27th. And
what magazine was this?
Rolling Stone.
Oh, okay.
And these guys published this article that said that there are 5 reasons why police generally want to legalize marijuana. And those 5 reasons, number 1, it's about public safety. Basically, it says that while marijuana is a relatively harmless drug, the black market associated with it can cause significant harm. Take away the need for the black market. That's point number 1. Second point, cops want to focus on crime that hurt real victims. Let me give you an example. The end of around mid-June every year, there's a little music festival that goes on in Manchester called Bonnaroo. You might have heard that. I have heard, and this cannot be held gospel, but I have heard that troopers along the stretch of I-65 that goes to Bonnaroo around the interstate, they have been told if they see somebody with marijuana, if it does not reach a certain point of certain pounds, then let them go, because there's too much work and they've got too many people going to Bonnaroo that are gonna be smoking while they're there.
And
it's
not
selective.
being affected, not being harmed, not being bothered, sir.
Until they're disillusioned and run into somebody.
Yeah. Police want stronger relationship with the communities they serve. So it's all.
So the cops are gonna be going door to door, handing out dimes for the doors. Here you go.
Yeah, and they want to stop kids from abusing drugs. They want to be able to build families, and it all builds on the fact that marijuana is taking half of their time. Half of every drug use is related to marijuana. 88% of those arrests are from simple possession. I mean,
So
I've never
it's a
smoked
lot
in
of
my life.
time.
I don't see the point of keeping it illegal.
Well, sometimes you think because the way the system is set up, you have to look at the legal system is a business. If I arrest you on simple possession, one, as we say in the community, sometimes they got you on paper.
Uh-huh.
So now
And paper's made out of what?
Trees.
Not marijuana. So we're killing more land with tree usage than marijuana. So go ahead, brother.
So my theory is, if once they get you on paper, now I have, as a police officer, I have the right to pull you over anytime. Now that I've got you on this one charge, a simple possession charge, I've got your license plate number. All I have to do now is anytime I see that car, I run your plates. Boom. Now I've got you. Now I'm building it up. Now what happens? Now I've got you on probation. Now I've got you playing a probation officer.
And I got to go get a lawyer.
You got to go get a lawyer. You got to go pay the probation officer. Now we're feeding the system. I mean that's just a theory.
And then I got to get SR22 insurance, so that might affect my insurance if I get to keep my ID. If I don't keep my ID, I got to go to the state and pay them to get my ID. So why should we make it illegal? The city's making too much money. I'm sorry.
And again,
That's another good point.
And again, back to what you were saying as far as an industry, all the things that you can do with it. Who does that hurt? If someone can take this plant and do all these things. If we make oil, okay, now we don't not only can use ethanol or corn as a source of
fuel production,
as a fuel source, but now we've got hemp. So now we've just cut out the oil companies, paper, clothing. Now we've cut out these products that are being shipped over from Taiwan, China, wherever these clothes are being made. Now there's anything wrong with them being made over there, but if you can grow this plant here, if you grow this plant here, now you're building what America was built on in-house. We are now not an export, we're import. We can, we're importing, not exporting, those type of things.
It's better for the environment because it's a plant. It grows anywhere from the mountains to the desert.
Well, as we have learned.
It certainly does. Matter of fact, if legal, it would be the leading cash crop of Tennessee and Kentucky, second to tobacco. And let's see, the roots are fibrous, so you plant it by a bank. It controls the erosion, so it's good for the environment. There's so many different aspects, and I guess, like you said, there's so many different groups that are threatened that we need to keep this off the market. But since we're taking it off the market, we're creating a need for it, creating a want for it, creating a desire for it.
Do we have to say that? I mean, I could put that on TV. Follow the money. Who would be the most harmed by legalizing marijuana? You have the cartel. They want it to be illegal because that's how they make their money. You have the people in some of these other areas, the fuel, energy. That's where they make the money. I mean,
so many people are making money, and we want to continue making money for the grapevine. So what we're going to do is, unfortunately, end the show today because we have ran out of time, but we hope you've been entertained. We hope you've been educated because we are here to do that. We are here to grow as the grapevine. I want to thank our special guest, David Shelton, and I want you to help us grow. Leave your comments, help us find the harvest, but most importantly, look for us on the grapevine because we're bringing you the hottest educational and entertaining topics, and we're going to keep on bringing it to you through the grapevine.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.